Now, let's go to the area of evaluation. Appreciate you hanging with us this far. But let's just see, how do you know how students are doing? How will you know if your student is doing well or not? First of all, there's initial student readiness evaluation, and that happens in the first month for new students, so that we form the baseline for instruction for each student. We have web conferences with parents and guardians or cluster coordinators twice a month. So we will go over in that baseline of instruction and make sure we're on the same page, and parents know what we're doing, and cluster coordinators and guardians know what we see, and we can all be on the same page in terms of a baseline for instruction. Now, we also then have parents and guardians visit the cluster once per week for a half a day. They're invited in some instances, but in some cases for the clusters they are required. But that really depends upon the cluster. Also, what is required is that parents or guardians share with cluster students something that they love for 30 to 40 minutes once per week within the daily schedule of the school. There are also 9-week demonstrations. The public is invited to learn, to question, and to praise. There are mid-semester reports, end-of-semester evaluations reports, and portfolio review. Let me stop right here. I want you to say portfolio review, because every year that the student is with us, we are developing a portfolio, so that when they go to college, or when they go on a position, or even to appreciate themselves, they really have a sense of growth. Based on, not just based on a string of grades, which are okay, letter grades, but a string of work where they can actually see the progression and demonstrate what they can do and what they have done. There are also end-of-year award demonstrations of coursework and projects, and those demonstrations are open to the public, and we want the public again to learn, to question, and praise. This is important because we're building accountability, the student being accountable to the public, to our people. They're not just accountable to the school, they're not just accountable to the teacher, they are accountable to and supported by our people, our community, and by extension, all people. The last is, upon completion and mastery of AYA course material and attainment of education objectives, students will be awarded a high school diploma and a full course transcript. Now, our goal is to prepare students to be motivated to render distinguished service to our people and all people in that order. And unfortunately, there are no nationally recognized standardized tests to measure that success. That's why we stress community involvement throughout the whole program to make sure that we achieve that. We also know the importance of European culturally based, nationally and internationally recognized exam performance, and so there are standardized tests. ACT, SAT, GRE test preparation via the Princeton University Service is embedded in the program. Students get that with no extra cost. That is students who enroll full-time. There's just a part of the course where they go there and they begin to do the preparation, vocabulary, math, reading comprehension, etc. Also, what we are requiring is that the students take the SAT and ACT starting in the 9th grade. We want them to take it several times before they graduate. There are also ITBS, basically a test of basic skills, is a standardized test popular in the U.S., but there are others. Every 3 years we have that kind of test, and we encourage all parents to participate in that, so that students know where they are in relationship to other students on other indices. Then there's a CLEP test. This is college level placement for various areas, and then subject 2 tests, SAT 2 tests, which is subject area tests. Those are optional, but they also are encouraged. That is how we get a sense of where students are. We also, what's not here is national competition. We have our students participate in competitions all the time. So again, they get to see how they fare in relationship to their peers. You get to see how they fare in relationship to our peers. And to that end, we're proud to announce that AYA Educational Institute student has won gold in a national competition, both for photography and for original essay. Now, thank you for listening. I know I've been moving pretty fast, but I really respect your time. Want to give you a brief snapshot of AYA Educational Institute for 2009-2010, just as a jumping off point for us to continue discussion, ask questions, those kinds of things. If you're watching this via video, get with someone from AYA Educational Institute, get with one of our instructors, get with the co-directors, get with one of the cluster leaders, and ask your question and enroll your students. The time is now. Take care.